Wow, I don't think I would have been making this video. Originally, it was going to be the RTX 980 against the RX 550, but I lost the adapter for this, so it went down to the 1650. A card that requires no supplemental power, but is slower than the 980 and soon to be just as old. Meanwhile, the 980 needs to suck up a lot of juice. But let's see, just like I did in the 980 video, you get some decent performance out of it. Let's go into the intro. And we're immediately jumping into Team Fortress 2. Why am I not showing some installation video and talking about how the GTX 980 is the greatest thing to ever come out in NVIDIA because of the 50 series being bad? Well, it's because I was having some issues with the GTX 980's original second contender. So when the RX 550 couldn't be used, I switched to an RX 460. Lo and behold, I broke it by bending it somehow. Don't ask, I'm pretty ashamed. The card just freezes the PC, and I don't know what I did. But anyways, in Team Fortress 2, a low demanding game, 1080p, the card's not even at maximum utilization, but it's getting pretty toasty at 40 degrees Celsius, which I know is very familiar for you laptop users, but this is a blower style card, so it is familiar to us other blower style owners. Not much to say, it's Team Fortress 2, it works. I probably should have not left that heavy in-depth Team Fortress 2 gameplay. In Forza Horizon 5 1080p with 2.2 FSR, we get the same result as last time. I do not have much to say about this other than the fact that our GPU is smoking hot at 79 degrees Celsius. And other than 60 FPS, the only thing you should worry about in later games with the 980 is driver support. I wouldn't recommend getting a 980 now, but if you already have a 980, then I wouldn't recommend upgrading the 980 until the last inch of its life is gone. But high settings, pretty good game. Unless you're not running like Cyberpunk or any games I can't remember off the top of my head, then you're fine. It's gonna work fine. In Overwatch 2, FSR 2.2, high settings, 1080p, yada yada yada, it's getting long. But anyways, we see some decent FPS. The 1% lows are sticking close to the averages. But that could be due to me forgetting to change the refresh rate in the game settings from 60 to unlimited, or whatever the highest setting was. Because, I did not check. I'm gonna be honest, the results might not match what you have set up in settings. In fact, I don't think you'll always set up your hardware to match the testing hardware settings. But still, just letting you know in case if you see a drastic difference. It's surprisingly, we're not. Oh wait, we are hitting above 70 degrees in the temperatures. Yeah, blower style cards are not very good at keeping themselves cool, or that could be the fact they put it in a case with barely any fans. Probably barely any fans is causing this card to overheat. So maybe if you have a fan blowing directly at it, maybe you'll have a better time. I don't know. I've lost so many cases. This is this testbed case that I am not bothering to show a picture of is the only thing I got. After fixing the Overwatch settings, we can see that the 1650 is having a better time. But that could be due to me having mismatched settings, since I didn't write down the settings I used for the 980, and the GTX 1650 might be having an easier time. Or that, or the drivers are better. I have no clue. Anyways, In Overwatch 2 1080p FSR 2.0, the GTX 1650 is doing pretty decently. And I'd say it does pretty well. If only it wasn't paired with a Ryzen 5 5500. Not the best combo. Unless you're working with a low profile Dell or something around those names, but this is a full-size 1650, so I wouldn't say it's a pretty good idea. Nothing wrong with a full fan on a low-end card. Actually, there is a lot wrong with a full fan on a low-end card. It's because you're getting a graphics card, and obviously by the choice, you're trying to get one cheap. Well, unfortunately, if you don't trust used cards, I don't know what to tell you, because currently there is nothing good on the market. The 960, no one can afford. Radeons insist that 8 gigabytes is good, as if. But meanwhile, Nvidia has completely abandoned gamers in favor of AI technology. And nobody can afford any other card because they're just all in the 70s range. The budget gamer friendly things like the 1640, actually it's more of a display adapter. The low end things that are on the market are display adapters. The RX 6500 XT might be something good, but still, they're mostly display adapters. Please, just trust the eBay seller and take a used card. If you're building a budget build, a used card isn't that bad. Okay. In Forza Horizon 5, we see no major differences from the 980. In fact, the only difference is that the 1650 is not smoking hot, unlike the 980, and it's not guzzling power to make that same performance. For once in my life, I'm going to compliment the 1650 for reaching the power of an old card, and for using the same wattage, and then for instantly being obsolete because it shares the exact same amount of VRAM. Good job, Nvidia. Oh, but AMD is not any better. The fact that there's even an 8 gigabyte version of the 9060, oh god, that's a can of worms I'm gonna leave to the bigger tech YouTubers to open up, because I'm not prepared for that kind of stuff. Some of you might noticed I've only played 3 games. Well, that's because I did not have the energy to play more than 3, because I don't really like Cyberpunk, and World of Warships isn't really demanding for these kinds of cards. Actually, it is kind of demanding. The prime video would be the 6600 against the RX. I was gonna say RX 980 for a second. The GTX 980 build, blah blah blah. I don't remember the title of it, but it was a prime example that showed that GPU performance can matter. Final thoughts. The 980 is the winner in pure performance, but I wouldn't go to say that the 1650 is immediately bad. It's just not my cup of a card. I'm not someone who's stuck with not needing supplemental power and having to draw the wattage directly from the slot. So I don't really see the benefits of this card. But if I did have a system that was limited by the slot, and there's even low profile versions of it, so using it wouldn't be so bad. And not to mention, this thing was running around similar to the 980 without having to without cooking the room. Like, this single little blower fan is not really gonna do a good job of cooling this. I don't know how the 980 Ti worked with this cooler, but here we are. I mean, some open air design designs of the 980 did exist, but you will mostly find the blower style on the used market. But also, there's a price difference between these two. I wouldn't go buy the 1650 if you have a 500 watt power supply. Why? Because even though this has the better cooling solution, it costs around a $20 difference. I'll show the prices up in editing. And this I got for 40 bucks. 49? 39? I have no idea. I need to look back at my purchases. I'll put on the current prices and compare. Anyways, leave a like and subscribe because I need the motivation.